song. Whether it's Robert Johnson dusting his broom, or Elmore James shaking his moneymaker, or Gary Moore gurning away that he's still got the blues, you either feel it or you don't. And this felt good. Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Audiophiles. As the housewives would say, the fourth best reaction channel in the whole. My name's John. His name's Andy.
It is.
You got the booming system, and it's flushing out doo-doo. You think it's chocolate milk, but it's watered down yoo-hoo. I've been through many times when I thought I might lose it. The only thing that saved me has always been music. More than that another time, perhaps. But now we have a track which has been carefully selected by Andy using all the strict government protocols, various hand washings, and scraping the Wellington boots. What have you got for us, Andy?
My experience when I picked out this song was I was just shit-faced drunk. So I don't know where you got that information from, but actually, this actually is an album I like to listen to when I've had a few beers.
We're going to get another case of foot and mouth now, aren't we?
So at the very early days on this channel, I had you check out a track called Try by the John Mayer Trio. It was the title track off of the album. Do you recall listening to that?
I do. That was am I not mistaken? That was the second song of his that I'd listened to from you.
Yes, this is the first of the John Mayer Trio. I think you would listen to a John Mayer track on Into the Music, which was Gravity. If I'm not mistaken. Yes. And you could already, in just comparing those two, you sort of see like the R&B blues of Gravity and the soul to more of this rockin', classic rock take on blues that we got in Try. So now that was the closing track on that album. I'm going to have you check out the opening track on that album, and it's called Who Did You Think I Was?
Okay, excellent. Well, I enjoyed Try, so I shall give this a try.
Excellent. Definitely done.
Oh, wow. It's just, I always find it quite amazing. Just because we have the crowd and everything. I don't know what we had. 10, 15 seconds of the song, and already it springs up so much. It's that particular sort of blues, rhythm of blues that come out of the 60s British revival and into like Cream and stuff. And John Mayall's Blues Breakers and then Hendrix. But when the drums kicked in, I immediately thought Lenny Kravitz, Always on the Run, which is another great song. That's fantastic. Let us bring it back. There must have been a few seconds of the audience, so let's go from the top-ish.
Got half a smile and zero shame. Got a reflection blues that I can't explain. Who did you think I was? Every morning when the day begins, I make up my mind and change it back again. I am a shifter of the shape I'm in. Who did you think I was?
That's the thing with like a bluesy song, is you kind of know what territory you're in almost immediately, and you almost can feel the framework of the song, and it doesn't detract from the enjoyment one iota. So you're getting this groove really nice, and it's rhythmic, and it's kind of almost like sashaying. It's got like a sort of twisty bounce to it, and then it sort of goes into, I don't know the musical term, is it minor key, but the melody sort of tilts, and then it comes back in with the title line, "Who do you think I was?" Um, yeah, so that's like the way this pattern's progressing. Is really nice, really nice. Band sounds really tight. Particularly the drum was great. I love the sort of the drumming right at the start, that sort of stutter into it, and he's producing the energy to let the other guys do their shit. Good stuff.
You got my number, but I always knew the score. Who did you think I was? Am I the one who plays the quiet song? Is he the one who turns the flames on? Will I keep shining till my light is gone? Who did you think I was? You got my number, but I always knew the score. Who did you think I was? Here is a line that you won't understand. I'm half of a boy, but I'm twice the man. I carry the weight of the world in the palm of my hand. Who did you think I was?
It's a really nice, very brief solo. The kind of led more towards Hendrix than anything else. And again, crashing cymbals. It's really nice. It's a short song, bollocks. I want to see if it got any more, but it was around about here. Just before that, in just sort of a standard sort of versey bit, he just did this really nice like little fill at the end of a line, just like a throwaway. It sounded really cool. All right, hopefully.
Think I Here is a line that you won't understand. I'm half of a boy, but I'm twice the man. I carry the weight of the world in the palm of my hand. Who did you think I was? Who did you think I was?
Nice.
Na, na, na. Yeah!
Cool. That sort of bit at the end, had that nice drum fill, and I went into sort of Tiny Jam. It sounded a bit more sort of Cream-like, the band, not the dairy product, obviously. Yeah, this is really enjoyable. I think sometimes with a sort of bluesy song, people try and think, let's do a bit more, and sometimes it just doesn't work. And I think if you stick to it, people know what they're getting, and it's yeah, it's really enjoyable. Um, I think blues songs, you feel it, and you feel whether it works for you or not almost instantly. Um, yeah, and this worked for me. I really liked it. Yeah. Right, let's get back to Andy and find a bit more about this song.
All right. Well, welcome back. And tell us what you thought of Who Did You Think I Was?
So I can't remember what I said regarding Try. I do remember enjoying it, definitely, and I have listened to it a couple of times since, actually. Because it's up my shtick. You may not know this, certain viewers, but beneath this pallid exterior lies the beating heart of a blues man. Um, no, I love the blues. It's probably my first love, and then
Yeah.
punk. But yeah, so opens up with the first few seconds. As I said, I can't remember what I said last time, but within the first few seconds of this, the old clockwork kicks in. I start thinking of this iteration of the blues because there are many sort of sounds in the blues, as we spoke about.
Absolutely.
And to my ears, this goes right back to British blues revival of the 60s and a whole spider's web of connections. You know, you've got his almost namesake, John Mayall, under the mentorship of Alex Corner and the Blues Breakers. And it was said, I'm going off a tangent here, but I will eventually come back. It is said that the Yardbirds were one of the most influential British bands because of their guitarists, you know,
Yeah.
etc. But I think the Blues Breakers are just as important. You had Eric Clapton, Peter Green, John McVie, Jack Bruce, Mick Taylor, and even Mick Fleetwood for a couple of weeks. So from there, my mind flits to Cream and those sounds, which naturally then go straight to Hendrix. And then finally, it hits me for all its faults. It's the Lenny Kravitz vibes I'm getting from that opening riff, that always on the run sort of thing. It's just great. So, anyway, as we know from the thumbnail and the previous time we listened to it, this is live. So we get a bit of audience appreciation. You know, you said it's the opening track at the start, which is great. And then you have this funky, beefy riff from the guitar opens and the scene is set, you know, and all this, you know, my thinking is all happening within 8 seconds, 10 seconds, I think it was. You get a really nice stutter fill from the drums, and then we're into it. Trio is tight, like a sausage in the pan trying to escape its skin. Mr. Mayer's vocals come in, and the groove is in full tilt with that sort of rhythmic sachet. I mean, it sounds derogatory to say, but it's that you have that sort of rolling lilt to it, like a car that's got one flat tire, and it just, you know, it just moves slightly. It's great. It also possesses within it this, it progresses, and it has this occasional, I don't know the musical term for it, this tilt in the melody. So he sings like two straight lines, and then he sort of tilts, and then it comes in with the, you know, and it's, who do you think I am? Titular line comes in. They're very tiny, and you almost missed them. There's a tiny guitar fills that sort of cast off at the end of phrases, and they're like undersized fish that have been caught and just thrown back in the water. Like, no, I'm waiting for something bigger. It just toss it. You know, we were talking like 2-second jobbies, but I really appreciated them. And then, sure enough, to continue mixing my metaphors, about 150. Mr. Mayer starts his outboard motor and the guitar truly begins to chug. So it's a brief solo that he does, and it's kind of born from the sounds of 67. And it's more Hendrix than anything else, if you want to compare all the different sounds. It builds on that main riff from the bulk of the song before sort of twisting and then flickering. And it has that rapid twiddling between two notes, which is so common, but always sounds bloody great every time you hear it. It's just two bloody notes on and off, on and off, on and off, like someone messing with the light switch in the room. But you know, you're getting strobe. You know, someone in the corner's having an epileptic fit. It's brilliant. And the crashing cymbals going along with it really add to it as well. All too quickly, it drops out, and then the vocals come back in, and in that classic way. I've not been. I mean, I'm registering his singing, but I'm not really catching the vocals. I don't think they're particularly deep. It's usually something like, "You think I'm this," and like that. But he comes back in and he schools an Isla, and now I'm going to tell you what's what. And he comes up with this line: "I'm half of a boy, but I'm twice the man," whatever the hell that means. I mean, lyrical sophistication was never the priority of the blues. No. Basic profundities, and that's about it. You know, my dog's dead and that sort of thing. But my woman's left me, and I'm a raging alcoholic. That's the sort of lyrical content of the blues. We have a really quick drum fill, which ushers in sort of final 30 seconds of a slight jam, and that gave me real hints of Cream in the way they were doing that there. Just a essence of. So yeah, really nice. The band sounded great. I mean, all elements to it. Awesome guitar tone, good singing, lovely punctuation from the drummer. He really kept it going. We've said before, as one of the oldest genres of music, there's a connection with the blues that you kind of feel in your gut. You know in seconds of hearing a blues song what the framework's going to be to that song. Whether it's Robert Johnson dusting his broom, or Elmore James shaking his moneymaker, or Gary Moore gurning away that he's still got the blues. You know, you either feel it or you don't. And this felt good.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you liked it. Now that we've done the sort of bookends to this album at this point, it's been too long since we've done some John Mayer Trio stuff on the channel. So that said, I will drop the link to the first reaction video that we did for Try in the description field below, so you guys can check that out if you're so interested. And I'll touch a little bit on what we discussed there, but then I'll expand a lot more on the song and some aspects of the album and stuff like that I don't think we touched on too much in our first video. But yeah, John Mayer Trio. They are a blues rock band that formed in LA, California in 2005, comprising singer-songwriter and guitarist John Mayer, bassist Pino Palladino, which we had so much fun saying his name, and drummer Steve Jordan. The band has released one live album, Give Me More, called Try in 2005. Three of the songs on the album were co-written by Jordan, Mayer, and Palladino, and the album was co-produced by Mayer and Jordan alike. So some of the other tracks they did, I think they do some covers, and they rehash some of Mayer's other stuff and kind of give it a facelift in this new, looking at it through this more bluesy lens. It was recorded at the House of Blues in Chicago, Illinois, and released on Columbia Records November 22nd of 2005. The album was nominated for Best Rock Album at the 49th Annual Grammy Awards. And unlike previous efforts by John Mayer, Try focuses on popular blues renditions rather than to that point, adult contemporary kind of pop songs that he was being, sort of labeled as the next voice in. The album includes two cover songs, Wait Until Tomorrow by Jimi Hendrix and I Got a Woman by Ray Charles. Two songs from Mayer's previous album, Heavier Things. The name of the album is Heavier Things. The songs Daughters and Something's Missing, and also showcased two songs from Mayer's then forthcoming album, Continuum, Vultures, and Gravity. So there's a more bluesy rendition of Gravity on this album as well, the song that I've also heard on Into the Music. Yes, very.
Can I just interject very, very quickly?
Of course you can.
I Got a Woman's one fucking the greatest songs ever.
Yeah.
I love Ray Charles, and that is an absolute banger.
Yeah, and it's definitely worth checking out. And even on the Continuum album, they do Axe as Bold as Love. So
really?
Bold as Love, yeah. So that's another great Hendrix cover that he then puts on Continuum. So this was definitely a turning point for him in his music and his packaging and how he presented himself as a musician. So kind of hit a lot of people like, whoa, if you didn't know about John Mayer, hadn't been following him from early on, you would never have known that he had all these guitar chops. So it was a lot of fun listening to this album.
Sorry to interject again, Your
Okay,
Honor.
of course.
But he couldn't have done it the other way around. He couldn't have started off like this and then got into, so he had to have that backing and to that prominent. I mean, it's a ballsy move, and it's great to see someone. I think we probably said this before, but someone who's pretty prominent, and especially with the girlfriends he's had. But someone so prominent to take up the blues like that and push it forward. He has got a platform, no doubt. I mean, millions, and to do this is really refreshing because there are lots of really well-drilled and very, exceptional blues bands, but they tend to be sort of the remit of your local clubs and pubs, and at a certain level of the community, people go and see their blues band or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They're not selling out the Royal Albert Hall or the O2 Arena or whatever. And for him to do this, I think it's just great, and it is ballsy because he could have seen all his sales drop and be dropped from that. But
I think you're right about the decision making of doing the sort of adult contemporary. And let's be honest, like a lot of the folks that listen to that were probably like car radio listening middle-aged moms taking their kids to and fro. Here's a young, good-looking guy who's singing about love and stuff, and that's winning them over and everything. Guys might be kind of rolling their eyes. If he had come out with the blues stuff that got all of us on board and then switched to that, we would have so many people would have abandoned him, his fan base. But his initial fan base, who did like the adult contemporary stuff, came over with the blues stuff, and then he won over a bunch of us meathead blues loving guys, and we all came to appreciate him as a musician. But yes, People magazine praised the album, concluding, "Here's hoping Mayer keeps this new groove going for his next solo disc." Kate Hasty of Billboard described the album as brimming with talent. Christian Horde of Rolling Stone said, "Over most of these 63 minutes, Mayer proves he can bowl you over, not just make your knees weak." Stephen Thomas Erlewine wrote a great review of the album for AllMusic, in which he provides, now bear with me, it's a bit of a quote, but I think it's great. "Sometime after the release of his 2003 sophomore album, Heavier Things, a perfectly pleasant affair that expanded on dreamy, mellow adult pop, Mayer decided that he didn't want to follow that direction anymore. He started penning a monthly column for Esquire magazine, within which he hinted at that his musical tastes were far broader than his recording suggested. And then he started cameoing all over the place, appearing on albums by Buddy Guy, Herbie Hancock, B.B. King, Eric Clapton, and John Scofield. Heavy hitters won it all. Yet none of them seemed to have much to do with Mayer's music, at least on the surface. These veterans recognized something within Mayer's playing, but more importantly, he realized that he needed to push himself further and decided to expand his horizons by seizing the opportunity to play with these masters and then incorporating what he learned into his own music." So, obviously, there's some serious names in blues music right there that were just listed. So Erlewine would later go on to say, "Mayer has expanded what he can do as a musician and a writer, and in the process, he definitively separated himself from the pack of sensitive, jammy, modern singer-songwriters. Based on this, he has more heart, soul, ambition, and chops than the rest of them combined." This track, "Who Do You Think I Was," is the first track on the album, and it comes blues guns blazing to really emphasize the shift in sound that Mayer was trying to achieve with this project. And the speculation that Mayer was moving away from this known field of sensitive acoustic pop rock into blues was certainly confirmed by the release of this single. And not only is that what the song does, but it is quite literally what it is about. This new shift in sound. Hell, he can't even finish delivering the first verse without making a cheeky reference by singing, "Got a brand new blues that I can't explain. Who did you think I was?" So, speaking of those lyrics, let's jump into them. "I got half a smile and zero shame. I got a reflection with a different name. Got a brand new blues that I can't explain. Who did you think I was? Every morning when the day begins, I make my mind, then change it back again. I've been a shifter of the shape I'm in. Who did you think I was? You got my number, but I always knew the score. Who did you think I was? I am the one who plays the quiet. Am I the one who plays the quiet songs? Or is he the one who turns the ladies on? Will I keep shining till my light is gone? Who did you think I was? You got my number, but I always knew the score. Who did you think I was? Here is a line that you won't understand, and we don't. I'm half the boy and I'm twice the man. Carry the weight of the world in the palm of my hand. Who did you think I was? Who did you think I was? So yeah, the song is literally about, like, you tried to pigeonhole me as this, or you all thought I was, the one who plays the quiet songs, or the one who is just eye candy for the moms out there. But no, there's a whole nother dimension to me as a musician, and here it is. And I can't underscore enough how important not only playing with some of those big names that we spoke of, some of those like godfathers of the genre, but also getting Jordan and Palladino in on this, because they probably helped move this whole project in the right direction, and they provide such a great rhythm section for him to just paint over with some stellar guitar work. So the three of them, it's always been my opinion that the Mayer, and he's done some great stuff. Continuum is a fabulous album. What he does with Dead and Company now and has done with over the last few years has been great, especially sort of carrying the baton for someone as well liked and loved as Jerry Garcia. The stuff he did with the trio, in my mind, has always been my favorite stuff that he's put out. And it's just such a great, just a holy trinity of good classic rock blues sound. And it was so refreshing to hear this when it came out, because around the same time, everybody was doing this, and I love it. Garage rock, indie rock, revival stuff. And here's this guy going, oh, I'm going to go 30 years farther back, or 20 years farther back, and tap into the 60s stuff while you guys are trying to reinvent the 80s. And I'm going to put out this album, and it's just fabulous, man. It's just a really good album. And I'm glad you've now enjoyed both these tracks that you've listened to, and you've got some stuff on there that I think you might want to go check out on your own at some point. It's good shit, man. Awesome. Definitely. Awesome. Well, sir, thank you for giving this a go. Guys out there in the listening audience, let us know what you think of Slow Hands Jr. If you're a fan of his guitar work. I know he can be a bit polarizing because for a while there he couldn't avoid the limelight, but now that he is being recognized for just his guitar work, he's a much more likable character. Any other songs that we should check out by him, feel free to drop them down in the comments field. If his playing reminded you of any of the greats that maybe we didn't touch on or mention, please let us know what your thoughts are down below. We love interacting with you guys. Please like, share, and subscribe if you be so inclined. We're trying to grow the channel. We are growing the channel, and we want to continue to grow the channel, and we cannot do that without you guys, and we really do appreciate that. All that out of the way, hopefully John and I will see all y'all in growing numbers on the next installment of the Audiophiles. We'll see you later, guys.